Okay, so featured employers come to Hare. That is actually opening up really soon. Um, anybody was at my other class? It might have been my other class, but there was a person that worked or works there, but it's supposed to be pretty amazing in Round Rock area. But if you want to check it out, it's a cool place. I just by their website. Baby A's, Baby Acapulco's, Lake Shores. There you go. If you want to get a job, that place. You've got a couple other Immer and Rye, Barley and Swine, Espio. So all of those Luster Pearl Sal are actually east. And so those are places that are hiring just for fun. Gotcha. Okay, quote of the week: live it, love it, breathe it, enjoy it. I'll let you quietly reflect by that. Got two of them. All right, so Chef Justin, he has a sweet potato pumpkin pie, or sweet potato pecan pie. Mm. That looks good. Take a photo if you'd like it. Mm. That looks good. All right, trivia. What is the most popular Halloween candy in America? We got, let's see, let me open up the chat line. So we've got M&M's is 1, Skittles is 2, Reese's is 3, Snickers is 4, and candy corns is 5. We have 3, we have 5, we have a 5. We have a bunch of 5s. Got a 1 in there. All right. We ready? Oh, got a 4. And the winner, Skittles. So I had the top 10 candy in America in order: Skittles, Reese's, M&M's, Snickers, Starburst, candy corns, hot tamales. Huh. All right, there we have it then. There we have it. Let me stop sharing this. Okay, so let's kind of talk maintenance. So I've been getting over the weekend. I was getting a lot of the costing out portions. That's good. Keep it coming. I'd like to see the rest of the whole class be done in the next, by the next, I would say mid this week would be awesome if we can get all the costing done this week, middle of this week, and then we could get the menu started, and then all next week, you really don't need to do anything. Other than your presentation next week. So let's see. I don't know if I showed a copy of a menu or not, but here is a a copy of a menu. So you need to create a menu. You can go to musthavemenus.com. That's probably that's a great one. And you can create a menu like this one right here. You know, it's got the name, or it's got the logo, it's got the, you know, he wrote the phone number, it got the hours written down. And that's pretty much, and this was this was must-have menus, because you can see the watermark right there. It says must-have menus. So, but you can kind of see how it's all set up. This is how I would like you to create a menu, whatever menu, however you want to create it. You just got to create a menu. Everybody good with that? Yes. Cool. All right. So let me.
Yes, sir.
Now, does everybody know where have they told you where you're going next 6 weeks?
No, chef.
Oh, I haven't gotten that.
No. Okay. I think you're gonna probably find out this coming up week, or this week. I believe so. So I think they were just deciding how many people are wanting hybrid and all of that sort of stuff. So I think it should.
Hey, Chef,
Yes.
do you, how does the schedule typically, does it change every new class with regards to the modules? Like we have restaurant ops, this one, is there like a standard, you know, what the next module is? And then after that and so on?
You know, there was on ground, you know, and you usually go to it's called Foundations 1 in our that's basically the next one right after this. It's a book, or it's a cooking class, but it's Foundations 1. You do soups, stocks, you know, that sort of stuff. Learn just the basics, like sauces, you know, starch cookery, the basics. So that's Foundation 1.
Thanks.
And how long is that session?
How long is Foundation 1?
Right.
It's 6 weeks. They're all 6 weeks long.
Okay, great.
Yeah, all the classes are 6 weeks long. All right, let me present this.
Oh, chef, I meant to mention to you about the discussion board again. I think you need to start the discussion for us to be able to comment again.
What for week? For okay, then give me. For some reason, I thought I started it, but I will look. Give me. I'll look on our break, on our next break.
Yes, chef.
Cool. If you could just remind me when we break.
Will do.
Cool. All right. So I think I'm sharing my screen. I'm gonna blow through this and let y'all work on your project. I mean, pretty much for the next for the rest of the class, I'm gonna just kind of, anytime we have PowerPoints, I'm gonna just push through it real fast and then get you going on your project. So let's see. So restaurant design, our menu design, we kind of talked about that, but having a good price, recipe mix, tracking, all of those 3 will help with the food cost. You know, your pricing, your recipe mix, and the tracking to make sure that your food cost is not out of whack. Menu engineering, about the physical aspect of the menu. We're actually talking about the physical aspect of it. And if you, I would say, you know, they're talking about engineering it, but if you manipulate it around and move the dishes around, you could increase your profit by 15% by just looking at the eye flow of, you know, it goes over here to this side and then you go over to here, so it goes from here to here to here to here. So if you just move around your items and whatever is more profitable, you know, move it in one area where you could probably make a lot more money just by just moving certain things around on your menu. Let's see, making sure, let's see the process. Okay, so menu engineering, you know, and we've already kind of talked about this, but menu engineering is helps you, you know, benefit and basically gives you more profit and less you know, waste, if you will, because you're optimizing the locations on your menu. So where you're now going to be selling these items a lot more, and and those items are more profitable, so you're going to be able to make a lot more money in that manner. Let's see. So layout and design of a profitable menu. So who want someone read this slide for me while I get some water.
Studies have found that when people read a list, the first item is distinguished from previous items as important. This is known as primacy effect. The first item will then be transferred into long-term memory by the time of recall. Items at the end of the list are still short in term memory, uh, recency effect, when the person needs to recall it.
Thank you. Sorry, I have not back from my water trip. All right. Okay. So we're wanting to make sure that these people, you know, the people recall these items, right? And make sure that they kind of remember it, put it in their long-term memory by just kind of the recall, right? So making sure that we kind of get it so where, you know, the customers can kind of go, oh yeah, they have this, or, you know, the recall aspect of it. Let's see. Now, what do you think about this menu right here? You know, that's on that side. Can you all see that? Or this menu that's kind of on this page right here. What do y'all think? Anybody? Y'all like it?
Can't really zoom in on it, but I mean, it's, you know,
Well, I mean, no, I mean, I'm not asking you to zoom in. I'm just saying, what do you think about the coloring of this? What do you think about the, you know, design?
I mean, nothing really catches my eye.
It doesn't. So why I'm bringing that up is you need something that catches your eye, right? You know, and this is this menu is kind of forgettable to me. So, you know, just make sure things, you know, catch your eye, make it a little eye catching. Okay. You know, just something, it just, for some reason, it just was forgettable. So, you know, you need to make sure it looks, you know, got that eye appeal. Layout, design. Okay. So let's someone read about the layout and design. Or who wants to read this slide for me?
lay out your design for profitability. That means when a diner looks at a menu, they will remember the first items they see and are more likely to recall those items when they must make a final decision. The items they see will not have made it into their long-term memory yet. This means they are less likely to remember those items when they are making a final decision.
There you go. So just trying to get them, and again, we're doing, as the restaurant owner, we're trying to optimize our profitability, right? So our profitability, we're trying to get these people so where they can remember it, recall it, and then be able to order that, right? So we need all of those things, and in having the layout properly done is very important to maximize your profitability, right? You want to make sure that it lines up, it fits. Maybe you have a decoy, not recipe, but an item on the menu, whatever else. But you're just trying to do the best you can to make as much profit is possible. And so you're trying to put things on a menu to make it more, eye-catching, if you will. Or who wants to read about this, the eye movement pattern?
The
One
menu reading pattern. The customer, it will look like a book. The bottom area, it will be the weakest.
Okay, so exactly. So the bottom area is the weakest, right? So you need to be very careful with that, not put your profitable items down at the very bottom, right? You want to put your profitable items more up at the top, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that area, but not way down below, right? Because those things aren't it's a little weaker down below. You get the first little bit is what you remember. The later on, you're not going to remember as much. Here you go. Here's the eye pattern right here. And I think we discussed that, right? We've already discussed this eye pattern. It's kind of this is a review, basically. So you go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, right? And that's how your eyes look at it. If it's a 2-page or an open book kind of a menu where that's how your eyes migrate. So again, optimize your profitability by placing them in the right categories. Eye magnet. Just don't even read the words over here. Look at the menu. Look at the menu for me. Tell me what catches your eye. Anything catch your eye on that menu?
The top things that say like from chef, special offer, new today.
Yeah, the pictures catch my eye as well. Those pictures are just the bold letters, like where it says seafood, main dish, beverage. That really kind of pops to me. So you need something that eye magnet, that star, that the highlighted, the italicized, the whatever, something that brings my attention to that menu, right? Here's another eye magnet, color, large fonts, photos, illustrations, negative space, and we as chefs hate negative, or for a long time, negative space was a bad thing to have on a plate or whatever else. And you still don't want negative space, but here on a menu, you having a little bit of negative space makes some items pop a little bit. Look at this menu right here. you have lots of eye-catching things, maybe a little too much, might be a little too busy, a little too much on the menu. What do y'all think? I think it's too much on the very top, especially on the top.
It's kind of distracting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got 24 hours a day, or the 24, I'm assuming it's open 24 hours a day. So that's why it's got the 24 there, 25% discount every Monday, food menu, and it's just so much packed. So in one area, plus you got 2 pictures and all of that. I don't, I think, the pictures, I think the bestseller, where I think they put the bestseller down in a wrong area, because it's in the bottom, right, of the menu. I wouldn't
No,
put the
honestly, I didn't notice
bestsellers down at the
bestsellers
bottom.
until you mentioned it.
Do what? What did you say?
I didn't even notice the bestsellers until you mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think the bestsellers should be maybe where kind of if you move the burgers and pizza down, kind of move them down and then move that bestsellers up, or put the bestsellers where the drinks are, where kind of up in this little area, kind of right above or below that hot dog, maybe. That might be better location. Um, that's my suggestion on that. But just watch those little things. I mean, here, look at the colors. I mean, look at that. I mean, I can't even see that menu, read what it is, but actually it turns me on. I like that because of the white and the black, or white and the red. Really, that red attracts you, right? And so it's very attracting, eye-catching right there. Also, kind of some reds, blues, other kind, that the red or blue also is good. Think of certain colors now. Uh, some colors don't match, so you always want to make sure that they all work together. So just watch out on colors, but colors do catch your eye, so make sure that you have different colors, or you can add colors. And let's look at this menu right here. um you know I like having the colors on it. It the blue, the side where it says sides, that one attracts me, where that blue right there. uh but anything with colors, anything like, do you see that little dotted line around desserts, or the dotted line around chef specials? Now, I think you can have too much, and I think that's a little too busy. You got the lines down at the bottom, right? And then you got the dotted lines. I think it's maybe just a little too much, too busy for me. But I don't know. What do y'all think? All right, now here, making sure you have relevant, images for sure. Let's don't put some random ass image on it, right? I mean, or some image that you're not even gonna make, right? Um, whatever else. I mean, first of all, who would put a whole tomato like that in a pasta dish? I don't know. Weird to me. Or a big tomato like that on a skewer. Anyway, so yeah, I love the color. Actually, I really like the color of this menu. What I don't like is the pictures. The pictures are a little big, little maybe not. I don't know. It's just there's too much happening in the picture. There's too much stuff in the picture. For me, I mean, what do y'all think?
The pictures are also half of the menu, so that's just too much.
Yeah, very huge pictures. Got to cut them down. But I like the color, the green. Okay, so just make sure they're relevant. The images are relevant. Let's don't put random ass images of random things that we don't need to mess with, or we don't want, or we don't have, or don't sell, or whatever else. Let's see. Someone read this one for me.
Effective typography. Typography plays an important role in restaurant menu design. You need to use the best possible font for your menu. To decide on this crucial decision, you need to keep two parameters in mind: relevance and readability. You need to keep your typography in sync with your brand aesthetic.
Parameters in mind.
Thank
Relevance
you.
and readability. You need to keep your typography in sync with your brand aesthetics.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I got two people. All right. For sure, the imaging, the lettering, the writing, make sure you can read it really well. Now, I mean, look at these. Some of these fonts are a little small, especially this one right here. I mean, I've got to get really close to my screen to look at it. I would say, please just be careful on your typing. You want to, and the style, the design, any of that sort of stuff. Really be very careful on how you do it, and print it out, check it out, get people to look at it, because where it says fruit juice, right underneath fruit juice, that is so hard for me to read right there. I can please ask about but again, I've got crappy eyes, right? So I got to be very careful. But the size, the font, the coloring, you name it, very, very important to watch that, because it does matter, the size of the font, and if it's bold or if it's not. I mean, even these bold, it's maybe a little too much, and it's starting to kind of bleed into it. Just not my favorite. What do y'all think about the design of this menu? Like it, love it, hate it?
I like the colors.
Yeah. I like the colors. I just don't like the size.
I almost feel like it's too like cold of a color, because it has like that like blue color, especially when they're like, oh, the lovely drinks. Like for some reason, even though I know that it's a hot drink, because I see it in blue,
It's
it
got that
doesn't
cool,
feel like it's like warm.
cooling
Like even though
factor.
it's a hot drink, I don't feel like it would warm me up type.
You know what? That I hadn't really thought about that part of it, but yeah, I after you mentioned it, for sure, yeah, I could see that. It doesn't seem like a warming color. Yeah.
Where the drinks are situated, that's probably where people are going to look first. I'd probably
Mm.
actually shift that over towards the left. One of the problems that I've always had with menus is that the drinks are always an afterthought, but that's the first thing that your waiters and waitresses ask you if you want.
Yep.
So I think it'd be smarter to have it a little earlier in the menu, but not right in the spot where, you're
Gotcha.
probably look first because you want your highlighted item there.
Yeah, totally. No, but I hadn't really thought about the color. I like that. All right, price. All right, pricing, guys. And I don't know who was talking to me about the burger this morning, and it was before class started, so I can't remember. Who was that? Was talking to me about the burger? Price of the burger?
It was Austin, Chef.
Oh, okay. All right. So like Austin was talking to me about, thank you. But Austin was asking me, is $20 expensive for a burger? And in the question is, or in the answer is really, it depends on who your clientele is. And in that is why it was so important for you to decide who your clientele is and how much your clientele can make or basically the demographics of your clientele. Because if you don't know that, then you don't know if $20 is too expensive for somebody. I mean, how much is a hamburger from Hop Dotties? Anybody? Let me just try to look up Hop Dotties. I mean, that's a
It's about like $12 to $15.
okay, so a $15, and that is, and I would consider Hop Dotties. Do you consider like a kind of a casual type of restaurant, right? Kind of a fast casual, or just a casual restaurant. It's not a fine dining restaurant. So I would even say, okay, with that being said, and if it's $15 for a burger there, if you're at a fine dining or at a sit down nicer restaurant, $20, wouldn't be bad for a burger. I mean, you gotta make it worth $20. That's the issue, right? And that maybe have a nicer bun, right? A nicer bun, maybe a nicer tomato. Have like a beefsteak tomato instead of a regular Roma tomato. Maybe get butter lettuce instead of romaine or instead of iceberg. You can kind of make it a little fancier to make it worth that much, right? So just making sure you stick that in that price range and make sure everything is correct. Make sure that your demographic can handle those prices. Make sure that I would say use, I like single numbers. I don't like 70, $9.75 or $9.95 or whatever else. I like just $9 or $7 or whatever else. But that's Cliff Dickerson, and you've seen in videos also where a lot of videos, a lot of people differ between what they like and what they don't like. Some people like the 95 and the 99. Some people don't like the 99 and 95. So it really kind of depends on who's making it and who's doing it. But just make sure you watch out and don't have like random numbers written, $4.42 or something like that. It's just kind of random to me. Bring it up, make it a little easier for yourself. Again, maximize a couple of extra pennies actually is adds up. Right. So, executive chef obviously plans the menu or helps create the menu in some way, or the owner or some management helps kind of plan the menus, and basically helps with and make sure that we have have the right equipment, have everything that the prep times are correct, all the mise en place is going to be done, all of that. So the executive chef is in charge of all of those things. And then obviously they'll get the sous chef to do a few extra things, or to do some of their duties as well. So all right, guys, if you don't mind, well, you know what, we can take a 10-minute break. Let's come back at 7 o'clock. Sound good?
Yes, chef.
Cool. And then we'll, by 7:30, we should be done. So come back at 7 o'clock. Ugh. Come here. Come here. Hi. What have you been doing this morning? Looks like you got into something. Let me feed you. Let me feed you. All right, guys, let's get this party started. All right. So, when let's see. All right, now mise en place, and this is just like a word that, a definition of a word, but mise en place is basically making sure you have everything in its place and just making sure that you have all your stuff ready to go before you start producing your stuff. So making sure your station has got all your mise en place, everything's cut, ready to go. Let's see,
Yes.
having,
Were you gonna share screen?
oh, my apologies. Thank you. Sorry. All right, so, oops. So mise en place is just like preparing, getting everything portioned, cut, just making sure we have everything kind of put in its place so where you can just knock out that order as fast as it comes in. Making sure the sauces are prepared or any of that sort of stuff. You also have prep sheets when you start, making sure that you have a prep sheet for, this station or for station prep sheet, or you also have a par level sheet of how many steaks you should have at your station or how many things you should have, and then standardized prep sheets, and that's what you made your standardized recipe. You create those, the standardized recipe, or I'm sorry, standardized prep sheets with your recipes in mind, and you can write out all your prep that you need, or all your mise en place, all your stuff that you need to produce your product. Benefits of a standardized prep sheet. Standardized, anything standardized is probably the best way to go, because there's not going to be any wavering or any changes, and it's going to be all standard. But it basically standardizes the levels of slow and busy shifts. Basically, kind of makes it so where everybody can kind of have their own. This is the prep list, or this is the standard prep list that you have to get done every single day. Bam, bam, bam. This is it. Whatever they're having to prep out. Benefits of standardized recipe make sure everyone else is, anyone else can take over the station, right? Because as long as there's a prep list or a standardized prep list, anybody can do it. Even though if someone's sick or whatever else, you're not having to guess. Everything is standardized. Okay, this, it's all listed. Bam, it's easy. And you want to make sure it's easy, because you never know when, especially nowadays, you never know when people are going to get sick. So, and you don't want to, I've been at worked at a station where, like, all of a sudden, or been told to, work at a station, and the person that worked at that station didn't have anything written down, didn't have a standardized prep list, didn't have anything. And it was just kind of a excuse my language, but a shit show, that night or whatever else. So you just got to be careful and make sure that everything is written down. For example, here's a one column prep sheet, okay, on Mondays, we got to prep, 25, for slower busy prep. Here's a busy day. a slow day, so you can kind of determine what you need to prep, what you need to do for the next 7 days. You know, and this can be like, okay, you know, Monday, it was a slow day, but you know, you only did 20. So you prepped only 20 and you know, so you can kind of keep track of how many things you prepped or whatever else. But making sure you have, you know, sub columns or other things. But here is, you know, if you have bigger, slow par, busy par, and that's par stock, how many pans? 6, 1/6 pan or a 6th pan. 16 of these or a half gallon of this or 16 of this, you know, making sure that you know how many items you should have at your station or prep. Here's a weekly bar prep sheet. You know, again, got to make sure your employees know what to do and all their prep and pars and all of that. Keeping the prep areas. Someone read this one for me. Heidi, do you mind reading this?
Yes, Chef. A typical restaurant kitchen has a layout featuring several different workstations. Each station is a designated area where a certain type of food is prepared. Stations help keep a restaurant kitchen running smoothly. The number of stations in an establishment depends on the restaurant's menu. One restaurant might have several stations with specialized equipment, while another might have just 1 or 2 areas that are designated for cooking certain menu items.
Thank you. All right, so prep areas, like when you're talking about in the kitchen, or what we were just talking about, you've got, you know, you got to look at where you're going to be prepping and what you know, all sorts of areas. I mean, you got dishwasher, salad, sushi, not much you know, I would maybe put the prep area. It's a hard place to put. It's hard to find a spot to put prep area. That's the issue is you need to make sure you have areas for doing prep and all of that. But this is kind of how a kitchen is set up. You know, you need to make sure you have good flow when you're walking in, wherever the coolers are. If you're going to be prepping a lot, your prep station should be maybe where all the coolers are, right? Because you're prepping, so you're going in and out of the coolers, back and forth. So maybe you want to be close to where a prep sink is or a sink. So you need to kind of think about all of those things. You know, typical workstation, you know, and this is kind of a typical workstation area. But when you're doing someone read me the typical workstation or a typical restaurant kitchen has a layout feature. Someone finish reading all of that.
A typical restaurant kitchen has a layout featuring several different workstations. Each station is a designated area where a certain type of food is prepared. Stations help keep a restaurant kitchen running smoothly. The number of stations in an establishment depends on the restaurant's menu. One restaurant might have several stations with specialized equipment, while another might have just 1 or 2 areas that are designated for cooking certain menu items.
Thank you so much. All right, so just different stations have different pieces of equipment all of that sort of stuff. But obviously, different stations do different things as well. You've got saute station, you have a deep fry station, you have a fry station, you have a grill station, you have a saucier station, saute station. A saute station, is just you're sauteing items, whatever are your frying, pan fried items, or any of that sort of stuff. I mean, that's a busy station. I mean, there's lots of things that you can do on a saute station. The grilling station, grilling's difficult. Making sure that the grill station, I would say, is probably one of the more expensive ones, because people, if you overcook, or especially overcooking things, you can royally lose, or you could lose lots of money. Making sure that the person, whoever is cooking, understands how to cook medium, how to do rare, medium rare, well done, all of that sort of stuff. Very, very important. Fry station. You know what? I think, the fry station is usually the first station you get thrown into. If you've never done a station before, but fry station is kind of a difficult, if you don't bread it, if you're having to bread things, and if you don't bread them correctly, you can really screw up all the food, and all, if the grease is old, if the grease is too hot, or whatever else. There's a lot of things that could screw up on the fry station, but you just got to make sure you manage it and be safe, because also that one's a very dangerous one, because you're dealing with 400 or 500 degree heat of grease, and you got to make sure that you never have just one fryer in your facility. You've got to at least have two. Especially if you're cooking fish, you gotta have a separate one, because you don't want to be frying fish and frying chicken in the same fryer, because your chicken's going to taste like fish, or your French fries are going to start to taste like fish, or whatever else, or seafood, whatnot. So you've got to be very careful and manage those properly. Look at that station. I mean, these are all just restaurant pictures now for the but I mean, walk station. I mean, look at all that prep. This area right here is what I call the expo, or the they're basically calling out all the orders. They're managing all of the stuff. These people are cooking the food. You can see all their mise en place here, ready to go, because you've got to have all of this, because stir fry doesn't take long. So you've got to have it all ready to go. And here's a prep area. Here you go, busy sandwich. This looks like, they're just banging out sandwiches left and right, but they've got all their prep area here. Everybody's working together. Everybody's working for one main thing, that's to produce the food. I mean, look at this. This is a sexy looking kitchen right here. I mean, this is an amazing, I would love to go there. I mean, look, you get to use copper pots and all of that sort of stuff. This is a sexy looking kitchen. But again, all working together, and you can see the different layouts of the kitchens. And so where everybody can kind of be able to work together, this layout right here, this style layout, more of an island, kind of everybody working in an island setup. But you have also just, here you go, some other pictures of just kitchens. Prep. And then look at all that prep. That's a good salad, someone's salad pasta station. There you go. I mean, that pasta station. Sushi station. Carving station, or what you call it, an action station or a carving station, anything like that. Also, a good action station would be like the pasta or omelets to order. Any of that sort of stuff is considered. Oh, well, there you go, omelets. That's an action station right there. Grilling the meats, all of that. Pizza station. Here we go. So, all right. So the rest of the time is working on your project. Any questions?
Hey, Sheriff. Hey,
Yeah, what's up?
hey, Chef. My Wi-Fi was acting slow today, and I tried to get it fixed, so I'm just using my data right now. But yeah. So I just want to let you
Okay.
know.
All
my
right.
Wi-Fi.
Thanks, man. No worries. All right. The rest of the day, you need to work on your project. You know, you don't have to stay online. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be on here for probably about maybe 30 minutes or so until around 8 o'clock. I'm going to be on, and then I'm going to close the class up at 8 o'clock. But if you want to leave now, you can. You just got to work on your project. The things that need to get done now are you need to finish up all your costing. You need to create a menu. And once you create your menu, then I would say by the end of the week, you need to have created your menu because really what next week we have. So if you can finish up the costing by the end of this week, you can do your menu maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week, and then Wednesday and Thursday our presentation. You're going to present your menu in your restaurant to the class. Everybody follow what's going to happen?
Heard.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thursday is our last day of class. All right, so I'm going to be here. I'm going to take probably about a 5-minute break. I'm going to walk my dog outside for a minute, and then I'll come back on. I'll be here until around 8 o'clock, and then but if you want to leave now, go ahead. I'm just giving you like 30 minutes to, if you have any questions or any problems, you can ask me. Cool. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I will be on here for about 30 minutes I'll come back in about 5 minutes or so. Cool.
I just wanted to double check. I was a few minutes late, Chef. I just want to make sure you got me.
I'm sorry, what?
I was a few minutes late to class. I just want to make sure you got
Oh,
me.
I got you.
Okay, great. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you,
sorry.
Chef.
Uh-huh.
All right, bye.
Bye. I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Hey chef, do our menu have to consist? Do our menu have to consist of the 9 recipes that we sent you?
Could you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Do our menu have to consist of the 9 recipes that we sent you, or can it be of something else?
And I've gotta have the recipes, you've gotta write out the recipes. So if it's not those 9, you would need to just make 9, because I want the recipe written down, standardized, and then I want you to cost it out. So if it's not those 9, it's gotta be a different set of 9.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, chef.
And if it's a different set of 9, just send me those recipes.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey chef, and as far as the presentation goes, whenever we have to present our project, do we have to talk about like the name of the restaurant and the demographics and all that stuff?
Yes. Yes. It can either be a PowerPoint presentation or it can be just you presenting your menu and just talking about your menu, just saying this is the demographics or whatever else. I'll show you a couple of different ways of doing it. I'll show it to you this week. I just haven't. I was going to show it to you midweek.
Okay, and on those steps that we had to follow to in order to create our menu and our restaurant, where can I find that?
Those steps. They're all in the PowerPoints. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, the one that I think we saw it in a PowerPoint, but I haven't been able to find the day exactly.
Okay. All right, give me a second and I can try to find it for you. And I'm still searching for that. Just give me a second. I'm going through the PowerPoints.
Okay, chef, thank you.
All right. So it is on, hold on. What day is this? Austin, was that you that was asking about that?
Pardon, Chef?
No,
Was
chef.
that you that was at? Oh, who was that?
It was me, chef.
Who is me? Oh, Austin? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna email it to you, okay?
That wasn't me, Chef. That was
Oh.
Guillermo.
Oh, Guillermo. Okay, sorry. Good. It's on PowerPoint day 11. And it's the 8th slide in PowerPoint 11.
Okay, chef. Thank you. And the presentation, do we follow the instructions on the portal as well?
For the presentation?
Sorry for the for the overall project.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm gonna send you. I took a picture of it and gonna send it to you. All right, I just sent you what you were asking for. Or it'll take a second for it to send, but anyway, I sent it.
Okay, chef. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Chef. I have a question when it comes to the costing sheet. I'm not
Yes.
understanding the like quantity, cost, and total cost part of it. Am I
Okay.
supposed to like convert it from my recipes like in a different way for the unit or something?
Hold on one second. Let me, have you shared it with me yet? Or anything yet?
No, I haven't shared anything yet
Okay.
because I'm kind of stuck. If you can give me an example on how you
There
think it
is
would
an
go.
there is an example on the portal. I will show you. Let me get on the portal. Okay, so I'm on the portal. I think, what was the day I did the example? Maybe it was day 20. Let me see. Yep. Example of menu, example of costing sheet. Do you see this? Am I sharing?
Yeah, you're sharing. I see that. I've seen that example, but I still wasn't like kind of understanding like the how to do the quantity cost. Because
Okay,
I'm
hold
looking
on.
at like
Let me open this up. Now, what do you quantity cost? The quantity, This is, okay, how much you need. This is 14 ounces. So that's 14, so you have 14, and then you got ounces right there. So it's gonna weigh 14 ounces. This is 4 ounces. This is a half a pound of butter. Is that what you're asking, or?
Yeah, and then so you do okay, so when you got the quantity figured out, then you go to the pricing sheet to get the
Yes.
cost and like what times that by how much you have or divided by
No, you
with the
figure
total
out,
cost?
okay, so let's say, um, well, hold on, this one doesn't have all the recipe. All right, so hold on, let me pull up. All right, so let's say you need, here, this is per unit. So snow peas, this right here, like, let's say you need snow peas, right? Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see them
Okay.
following.
All right. So snow peas, this is snow peas. The unit is a pound. So it costs, $4.56 a pound, right? For snow peas. Let's say you only need a half a pound or 4 ounces. So you have to figure out, okay, so there's 16 ounces in a pound, right? So you need to figure out, if you need only 1 ounce, you need to figure out, you need to convert, and you need to yes, you do need to convert and do a little bit of math to kind of figure that out. Does that make sense?
Okay, that kind of makes a little more sense. Okay.
So, but the units, this is the weight. So if you're trying to deal with weight, here's the weight. Volume, this is liquid or volume, and then you got count by the each. And then here's all the pounds and gallons and all of that right there. Are we good? Are you confused?
Yeah.
Are you good
No.
now?
Yeah, I got it now. It's kind of
Okay.
more understandable. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Chef, I'm having trouble with getting the costing sheet to put the total up at the top for recipes 2 through so
All right.
on.
Did you share it with me?
Yes, sir.
So Austin. All right, let me find my. This
So the
yours?
first one works just fine, but then the second one and so on haven't been working.
It's G. Let's see. That is J. Then what I would do is I just duplicated this one, right? So I made a copy.
Yes,
Do you
Chef.
see that? So what I would do is I would all right, so here's a blank one right here, that
Yes.
new one. So I would just start duplicating this one right here. And you just have and this one works. So I would use that one. Do you
Okay.
see what I'm saying? And just delete all the other ones.
Yes, chef.
All right. That's the workaround I would do. Because
Thank you.
this one's working and the other ones aren't. So I would just delete that. And
Yes, chef. Thank
cool.
you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Chef, I have a question.
Yes.
So I submitted the costing sheet, and after I submit it, looking at it, I see areas where I can reduce the price. For example, the marinara sauce that I had on there was made from scratch. The pizza sauce was made from scratch, and those are sub recipes.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if I went and bought a case of number 10 can of pizza sauce
Mm-hmm.
on there, those, like for the mozzarella cheese and the pizza sauce, are my two largest cost in there. And when you look at that after the calculation of the 30% in there, there's no way that people would buy a pizza for that much. So my
Yeah.
question-
So bring it down. Buy the number 10 can.
Okay, and then it's from a recipe list, do you still want that on there? For the.
Yeah, because you need to cost out that number 10 can, right? You know,
Yeah.
because that's gonna cost, you know, I mean, what you need, maybe 2 ounces, maybe an ounce out of that, or whatever it is. So you've just got to figure out how much that little bit is gonna cost.
Yeah, because right now the calculation is like 47 cents an ounce. And it's
Yeah.
5 3/4, where if I go with the number 10 can, it brings it down to like 4 cents.
Oh, then there you go. I mean,
Right.
that's
That's a great thing about the tool here is you can play with it. But I mean, from a presentation standpoint, if I could see that I can lower my cost point, instead of having it designated as a sub recipe on there, it's just going to be a can.
That's totally fine.
Okay. All right. Then I'll make those changes.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine.
And it'll
But
probably
I
go-
think that right there, it makes you, you know, I think you looking at that makes you smarter, you know, than an average bear, because you gotta really think of, you know, you want to maximize your profits and margins, right? And that little bit can really help you out, right? So, you know, good logical thinking. So you did really good on that.
And then my last question is, there was a final tab where it said your final cost sheet that was on there.
Yes.
So did you want that? And I mean, I listened-
No, you don't have to. That was just what this person did. It's totally fine. You don't have to do it that way.
Okay, all right, then I'll.
I mean, because it just, I mean, it's basically this information from all the other pages just put on one. So I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with going through it all.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, no worries, man.